Hello and welcome to the Museum of the Southeast American Indian on the campus of UNC Pembroke in North Carolina. I am Alisha Locklear Monroe, the museum educator here, and I come to you today underneath our brush arbor inside of our Discovery Center, and we are going to be talking about shells and pearls. Today we're going to create our very own shell and pearl bracelet. And we do this activity inside of the museum with our visitors when they come to help showcase the importance of shells and pearls to American Indian people. Shells are a natural part of our environment. We are definitely close to the coast. We live along the Lumbee River here in North Carolina, and we use the shells that nature provides us. And those shells have been used for utensils. They have been used to make beautiful jewelry like we're going to make today. Shells were used as scraper tools. Even when we were doing dugout canoes, shells were used to help scrape out the burnout wood so that we could hollow those canoes and we can travel in those canoes. One thing that's really important to note here is that Native American people never let anything go to waste. We utilized everything around us. So you have the shells, and then you also have the pearls. You know, pearls are derived from oysters, and pearls can be found all over the world, but they come in all shapes and sizes, all different shapes and sizes and variations in color. And pearls eventually, by some people, were used as currency and really have always attracted people to our region. And so pearls have always held a special place in our heart too as well. So today we're going to be creating a piece of jewelry using that. But first, what I want to do is highlight a piece that we have in our collection. Here we have a cowrie shell necklace that was bought in the museum in 1975. And is a prime example of a piece of jewelry that was made and used and worn. Shells would have also been used on clothing, and then pearls too as well. And this is a rare item that we have that is in immaculate condition here in the museum, and we're able to teach the importance of shells through this piece as well. Also, we have a few contemporary pieces that highlight the shells. First, we have a gorget necklace that was designed by Andy Grant, who is Eastern Band Cherokee here in North Carolina. And he has cut this round disc out of a larger whelk shell that comes from the Florida Gulf Coast. And so he cut this disc shape out, and then what he does is he uses a Dremel tool and other tools to carve in a design inside of that disc. And he goes back and he uses different types of ink to add coloring to make it look more beautiful. And on his design that he has on his gorget necklace, here we have a water spider, and it tells the story of the first fire for the Cherokee people. And it is definitely a historic Southeast design that was used by our people thousands of years ago, and it can be found on in places where digs have been done and items have been collected. Also, we have a necklace here on the end, and this is actually, on this necklace, we have wampum. And wampum is also a type of shell, it's purplish and creamish, and this has been done we have two artists in our community that do this work. Timothy Jacobs and Billy Ray Oxendine, and we have these smaller, like heshy shaped beads here, and then along the length of the necklace, you have these larger discs that are the wampum, using the wampum shell. And then on the bottom, we have a deer that was carved out of the purplish part of the wampum shell. And it's just beautiful. You know, this type of shell is very sought after, and a lot of Native people know that this is something that our people have used for centuries. These shells, these type of shells, were used in wampum belts and were used to communicate historically. And you know, they're definitely a very important part of Indigenous culture, and we wanted to share that with you today. And these are two artists that are alive and well, and are creating this type of artwork every day. So we have the historic in our collection, and here we have the contemporary pieces. So now we're going to create our craft, and you only need a few items for this. We just search out for a variety of shells. You know, it really doesn't matter. You can get chips of shells, you can get cowrie shells. You've got these little moon shells and other type things, black lip shells, and then we also always use the pearls. And these obviously aren't real pearls; they are synthetic pearls, but they also help us. They still help us gain our appreciation for pearls. What we also use is a stretchy type of cord to string on as our stringing material. I really like this power cord. It has a good strength to it, and really with using this, all you don't even need any clasp or anything. You just need to do a good double knot on the end, and you need a pair of scissors, and that's it. So very simple, and this one is 25 meters in length, so they vary in size, and you can find these readily available on the internet. And so what you do to start is something to keep in mind with the stretchy cord is it is stretchy, and you don't need it longer than the length of your wrist, because you're only gonna you need it to kind of be able to stretch to fit on your hand. So you need to leave just a little bit of extra. I just go around the wrist, cut it to the size of your wrist because it's going to be smaller than that. Just keep in mind that it will be shorter. And so all you need to do to start is just tie you a good double knot on one end. If you have younger kids, this is the step where you want to help them, because you want to get a good secure knot on the end. Just tug on it kind of good. Okay. And then, you know, think about your design. You know, here I have 6 different varieties of shells. Just think about how you want your pattern to sort of be laid out. You know, maybe I'll do, you know, 2 pieces of chip shells on one end. And then I'll maybe do the black. Just until you get it the way you want it. If you have a shaky hand, this might not be as easy. Some of our older folks don't enjoy this as much. It just depends on, you know, if you have the patience to do this sort of thing or not. I like to add a little variety with some of these round discs as I go. But you definitely kind of want to have a plan, because you want it to look like a, you know, like a designed piece of jewelry. But this is definitely something fun that you can do at home. I mostly use my pearls as a statement piece, so I don't use as many of those. Those are a little more expensive for us here. So then once I'm not going to go through and string everything, but it's not going to take a whole lot. Again, you just need to judge where to stop it based on the size of your arm, and it needs to be shorter, slightly shorter than the length of your arm. When you get it to the end, when you're finished and you like what you see, all you need to do is gather it to the other end, to the opposite end where you tied your knot, and then tie a good double knot. You can really make sure by doing do it another time, but I haven't had any trouble with it. Again, if you can't get your hands on this stretchy cord, you could use, the only disadvantage to using something like hemp, or something like that, or I wouldn't recommend using wire, even though you can use wire. You're going to have to put some kind of clasp on the end of it. Sinew, If you can get your hands on sinew, you can sort of do the same thing, which is definitely like a double knot. But they're kind of cool. You know, here's one that's been done before, and it has just the cream chips. We have some white shells, some pearls, and I have some of our folks that wear these, you know, in their everyday. So, you know, I hope that you try this at home and, you know, get your hands on a few shells, and remember that all of these things mean something. You know, there really wasn't much that Native people did that was just because. You know, everything sort of had a meaning, a purpose. You know, not only were we using the outer for these decorative elements and for these utilitarian uses, we were eating what was inside of those shells too, as well as a food source. So we hope that you try your hand at it. We hope that you come back and visit us at the museum. We hope that you join us under the brush arbor. We would love to have you here in the museum, and we would love for you to be able to create your own activity with us too as well. If you would like, we hope you post some videos of some bracelets that you try, and come see us. We'll be glad to be with you. Thank you.